Hey guys, welcome back to Magic Cinema. Today, we're diving into a super intense action movie about a dad who's ready to go completely brutal to save his daughter from a ruthless syndicate. Curious to see how his heroic journey plays out? Before we kick off this recap of The Furious, make sure to show some love to the channel by hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so you never miss our next exciting movie breakdown. Alright, let's get into it.
I haven't seen you in days, Mattia.
The story kicks off with a tense and eerie vibe. An investigative reporter named Mattia Faum is scoping out a sketchy, dark alley. She hears a kid crying behind a wall. Peeking through a crack, she spots a group of kids being held hostage in a room. Without hesitating, Mattia storms the place to rescue them. A brutal fight breaks out between Mattia and the guards. She manages to yell at a kid she just freed to run for it. But luck isn't on the kid's side. A mysterious thug pops out from the dark and fires an arrow, killing the poor kid instantly. Right after, the crime boss, Pak Lung, shows up and orders his crew to drag the captured Mattia downstairs. Cut to a peaceful riverside scene the next morning. Here we meet a middle-aged guy named Wang Wei, a handyman who happens to be mute. Wang Wei is busy fixing up some martial arts training gear at home when his cheerful daughter, Rainey, wakes up. She's recording a vlog to capture her daily life with her dad, whom she thinks is awesome and handsome. Afterwards, they head over to a local diner where Wang Wei just wrapped up a job fixing furniture. Right as they're about to leave, a gang of thugs rolls in and starts shaking down the restaurant owner. Not wanting any trouble, Wang Wei decides to grab Rainey and bounce, ignoring the whole scene, even though Rainey gets annoyed by her dad's lack of caring. Across town, a guy named Navin is grabbing a bite at a street food stall. He secretly cuts a deal with a fixer, slipping him cash to set up a meeting with the big boss, Mr. Song. Navin acts like a shady buyer looking to purchase 30 kids for illegal labor on fishing boats. After the meeting, Navin heads back to his van, which turns out to be loaded with high-tech surveillance gear. Inside, he plays back the footage from a hidden camera on his shirt button. Turns out, Navin is actually the husband of Mattia, the missing reporter, and he's running his own rogue investigation to find his wife after she went dark while looking into the child kidnapping ring. Back at Wang Wei's place, Rainey is getting ready to have her hair cut by her dad. They're communicating through sign language. It's heartwarming, but turns into a bit of an argument because Rainey wants to stay with her dad instead of heading back to China. Frustrated by the misunderstanding, Rainey storms out of the house alone. On the street, a scruffy little boy approaches her, crying for help and claiming his sister just got hit by a car while their parents are away. Feeling sorry for him, Rainey follows the kid into a deserted alley, completely oblivious to the danger waiting for her. It turns out the boys set a trap for Rainey. As soon as they hit the dead end of the alley, a crew of kidnappers disguised as garbage collectors ambushes her. They drug Rainey and throw her into the back of a garbage truck. Realizing his daughter has been gone too long, Wang Wei runs outside to look for her. He spots the sketchy garbage truck pulling away and chases after it with everything he's got. But the thugs quickly cut Wang Wei off. A brutal fight breaks out in an empty market area. Even though he's totally outnumbered, Wang Wei fights like a beast using his insane martial arts skills. He even manages to climb onto the moving garbage truck to look for Rainey, but the driver guns the engine to shake him off. Wang Wei takes a hard fall but keeps sprinting after the truck until his feet are raw. The kidnappers lift Rainey up, threatening to dump her off the speeding truck. Wang Wei's chase comes to a sudden halt when a car slams into him out of nowhere, sending him flying across the pavement. Battered, bruised, and with a busted leg, Wang Wei forces himself to limp to the nearest police station. Since he can't speak, he writes down the truck's license plate and a description of the thugs on a scrap of paper and hands it to the desk officer.
Do that again, okay?
What's going on here? Come with me.
Unfortunately, the police captain gives him the cold shoulder, brushing off the report and claiming they have to follow standard bureaucratic red tape. Frustrated and heartbroken, Wang Wei walks out, staring at a wall covered in posters of missing kids who were never found. Meanwhile, Rainey wakes up in a dark, damp room where she's being held captive. Looking around, she sees a bunch of other kids stuck in the same boat, all locked behind iron bars. Back at his place, Wang Wei uses whatever strength he has left to patch up his own wounds. Over at the police station, a female detective named Yudong starts getting suspicious after looking up Wang Wei's file. It's completely blank. No criminal record, no job history, nothing. It's like the guy just appeared out of thin air. Once he's done fixing himself up, Wang Wei throws on a black jacket, grabs a sledgehammer, and gets ready to deal with the kidnappers his own way. He heads out to a building hosting an underground illegal MMA fight, the exact same place Navin has just arrived at to track down his target. Navin gets escorted by a club guard into the VIP room to meet Mr. Song. Once inside, Navin plays the part of a high-rolling buyer, offering a massive deal to buy dozens of kids, claiming they're going to work on a friend's shrimp boat out in Eastport.
Very good deal.
But there's a catch. Navin insists on hand-picking the kids himself.
Fishing is a competitive industry. I need your best.
The shady Mr. Song smells a rat and starts questioning who Navin really is, figuring he's an undercover cop or a secret agent.
You were too stupid to be on my payroll, Mr. Song.
Right about then, Wang Wei storms into the venue. He flashes a photo of Rainey to the bouncers at the door. When they try to jump him, Wang Wei hits back with lethal punches, sparking a massive brawl that quickly spills into the main nightclub area. The chaos downstairs completely panics Mr. Song. Thinking Wang Wei is Navin's partner who came to stir up trouble, Song orders his goons to take Navin out right then and there. A brutal fight breaks out in the VIP room between Navin and Song's men, while Mr. Song himself decides to tuck tail and run. Downstairs, one of the kidnappers spots Wang Wei, loses his mind with fear, and runs straight into the middle of an active MMA octagon cage. Wang Wei goes after him, but the MMA fighters inside the cage turn on him and team up to take him down. Cornered, Wang Wei pulls out his sledgehammer and goes absolutely ballistic, beating down the fighters and guards without mercy, throwing the entire crowd into a panicked stampede. The terrified kidnapper sprints up to the top floor, bumping right into Navin, who is still busy fending off Song's goons. In the middle of the chaos, Navin accidentally shoves the kidnapper, sending him flying over the railing from the upper floor straight down into the middle of the octagon, knocking him out cold. Navin bolts to the server room to download the CCTV footage onto a thumb drive, but Wang Wei, thinking Navin is part of the kidnapping ring, suddenly ambushes him. An intense, brutal duel goes down between the two heavy hitters inside the server room.
Who are you?
The fight finally grinds to a halt when Navin spots Rainey's photo falling out of Wang Wei's pocket. Navin explains that he's also searching for someone missing, and that they're actually on the same side. Elsewhere, at an ice warehouse, Mr. Song is torturing his own men for messing up security and letting intruders break in. Meanwhile, the boy who set up Rainey gets thrown into the exact same cell as her. Furious, Rainey immediately attacks the kid for betraying her until a warehouse guard steps in to break it up. Navin takes Wang Wei to his secret hideout inside the van. He shows him all the investigative data his wife gathered on Mr. Song's human trafficking network.
Bring him into the ring between rounds as a joke.
The sharp-eyed Wang Wei spots an old photo and points out a refrigerated ice delivery truck that frequently drives around the kidnapping spots. They realize this soundproof truck is exactly how the villains transport the kids without raising any eyebrows in the neighborhood.
Checks out potential buyers. What is it? Same truck. The red is soundproof. The factors are now.
With that lead, Navin and Wang Wei drive out of town toward Mr. Song's ice factory. Navin suggests waiting to draw up a plan, but the impatient Wang Wei decides to dive straight into the action. Using a clever distraction tactic, Wang Wei storms the factory's front door and starts taking down the guards one by one. Meanwhile, Navin slips in through the back door. Suddenly, a massive giant thug blindsides Navin, giving him a brutal beating that completely overwhelms him. On the upper level, Mr. Song shows up racking a shotgun and starts blasting wildly at Wang Wei, but Wang Wei manages to dodge the bullets.
Eat shit and die!
Navin manages to knock out Mr. Song, but the giant kidnapper keeps coming at them brutally.
I see you!
In the chaos, Wang Wei gets thrown into an empty holding cell where Rainey was previously locked up. He finds his daughter's bloody jacket left on the floor, realizing she has already been moved somewhere else. Fueled by absolute heartbreak and pure rage, Wang Wei gets back up and goes completely feral on the giant thug, beating him so severely that Navin has to step in to keep him from killing the guy. Afterwards, they tie up the unconscious Mr. Song for interrogation.
Killing him would give you...
Elsewhere, the dirty police captain who's in bed with the trafficking syndicate boss Pak Lung immediately calls his boss to warn him that their ice factory has been hit by a mute Chinese guy looking for his kid, along with a foreigner. Meanwhile, at the factory, Wang Wei starts torturing Mr. Song with high-voltage live wires to make him talk. Screaming in pain, Mr. Song finally cracks and confesses that all the kids have been moved to a secret holding facility known as the Snake Pit. Over at the Snake Pit, Rainey isn't just sitting around. She bravely tries to find a way out through a barred window high up in her cell. The boy who tricked her tries to stop her, terrified that the guards will torture them if they get caught. But Rainey stands her ground for everyone's sake and ignores his whining. Before Mr. Song can do anything after the interrogation, Pak Lung and his men pull up to the ice factory warehouse and immediately shoot Mr. Song in the leg with an arrow as punishment for failing to keep his mouth shut.
There's a truck over there.
At the same time, Navin and Wang Wei finally pull up outside the Snake Pit. They spot the exact same refrigerated truck parked there, confirming they're in the right place. Meanwhile, inside the cell, Rainey gets her hands on a sharp piece of metal and starts slowly sawing through the window bars to create an escape route for the other kids.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Navin.
Navin kicks off a live stream right from the location. The live video spreads like wildfire across the internet, exposing the horrifying cruelty of the child trafficking ring and dropping the name of a local tycoon, Kun Tai Luo, as the building's owner.
Against their will.
This emergency broadcast instantly causes a massive public uproar, and even the officers at the police station are glued to the screen. Inside the building, all hell breaks loose as Wang Wei and Navin start dropping the guards one by one. A heartwarming moment follows as Wang Wei finally reunites with Rainey.
We gotta get out of here.
Navin urges Wang Wei to get his daughter out of there immediately, while he chooses to stay behind to free the rest of the kids locked on the upper floors.
雨晶，你说得很对，你放心吧，叔叔会去救他们。
I'll stay. You're just...
Outside, a fleet of police cars rolls up, led by Yudong. However, the dirty captain shows up too and orders Yudong and her squad to stand down, banning them from running a rescue operation. The captain even intentionally lets a swarm of extra thugs pass the police line into the building to wipe out the intruders.
Right there!
Curious.
Seeing waves of thugs armed with blades rushing in, Wang Wei hesitates to ride off on his motorcycle. Worried about Navin and the rest of the kids, Wang Wei decides to pull a U-turn. He crashes his bike back into the building, with Rainey backing him up, and they fight shoulder to shoulder to clear out the thugs.
Let's go! Hurry! 你都已经走了，为什么还要回来？走。
Let's go.
The thugs push them all the way up to the high rooftop. Cornered and out of options, the boy with Rainey comes up with a genius idea, tying a bunch of thick blankets together into an emergency rope so the kids can zip line down. Outside, a massive crowd of citizens and reporters gathers, pressuring the police to take action.
Next one.
Yudong and her fellow officers finally decide to completely ignore their cowardly captain's orders and rush to help the kids sliding down one by one.
Sasha! I'm ordering you!
Sergeant.
When it's Rainey's turn, the blanket rope snaps and she plummets, but luckily, the cops below catch her just in time. Up top, a thug tries to throw the remaining boy off the edge, but Yudong quick draws and shoots the thug dead.
Drop your weapon! Drop!
The police finally secure the area and save all the kids. Navin asks Yudong where his wife is, but Yudong stays quiet, heavily implying she didn't make it.
Yes.
Pak Lung gets a call telling him to go see his father-in-law, the tycoon Kun Tai Lo, immediately. Inside the luxurious office, the tycoon is absolutely furious because this colossal failure has publicly humiliated the family name.
To custody, we all need to save face, as we understand. But children...
Feeling cornered and disrespected, Pak Lung snaps. He murders his father-in-law, all their dirty business partners, and the corrupt police captain right there in the room.
I'm a cop! Damn it!
To my home. I gave you my daughter.
When his wife walks in and tries to stop the madness, Pak Lung accidentally stabs her to death, leaving him screaming hysterically in deep regret, standing in a pool of blood. Meanwhile, at the police station, Yudong apologizes to Wang Wei for having to keep him in a holding cell overnight just as a bail formality, while praising their insane bravery for saving dozens of kids' lives. On the other side of town, inside the quiet ice warehouse, the giant thug finally wakes up. He breaks down crying when he finds his dad, Mr. Song, brutally killed and pinned with arrows left by Pak Lung's crew, and he vows to get absolute bloody revenge.
Saved a lot of kids today.
That night, a massive thunderstorm hits the city. Wang Wei is put in the same cell as Navin. Inside, Navin pours his heart out about his late wife, Mattia, hoping that wherever she is, she can forgive him for his mistakes. Little do they know, deadly danger is heading straight for them. Pak Lung and his archer henchmen storm the police station under the cover of night. The archer silently snipes the guards one by one with arrows, then cuts the power, triggering the emergency backup lights.
My father.
I'll check on him.
Yudong realizes they're under attack and tries to fight back, but Pak Lung quickly throws a blade, taking her down instantly. Hearing the chaos, Wang Wei and Navin spring into action inside their cell. Wang Wei stretches out to grab the cell keys dropped on the floor outside the bars. By the time Pak Lung and his crew descend into the holding cells, they find it completely empty. Wang Wei and Navin have already broken out and headed upstairs to rescue Rainey and the little boy.
For me.
But their escape gets cut off when Pak Lung and the archer corner them. A fierce fight erupts, and Rainey takes an arrow to the leg from Pak Lung's guy. Wang Wei squares off against the archer, while Navin goes toe-to-toe with Pak Lung. The brawl inside the station gets completely chaotic and brutal. In the middle of the slugfest, the giant thug suddenly crashes through the door, blind with rage, looking to avenge his dad's death by killing Pak Lung. The battle turns into a completely insane three-way free-for-all.
Your father?
During the fight, Navin gets sliced up badly by the archer's blade, but Navin's rage goes through the roof when he notices his late wife's wedding ring hanging around the archer's neck as a trophy. Realizing this is the monster who killed his wife, Navin attacks with every ounce of strength he has left. Meanwhile, Pak Lung manages to stab the giant thug to death after a grueling fight. Bleeding out from knife wounds, Navin delivers a fatal blow to the archer by biting down on his neck and tearing it open. Wang Wei rushes over to the falling Navin. In Wang Wei's arms, Navin takes his last breath peacefully, handing over his wife's ring and whispering that he finally found Mattia.
Seeing Navin die, a wounded Pak Lung still forces himself to go after Rainey and the boy as they try to escape. Blindsided by pure fury, Wang Wei sprints after Pak Lung and tackles him right through a glass window, sending them crashing into the outside yard. The final deathmatch goes down under a torrential downpour in the backyard. With the last of his energy, Wang Wei corners Pak Lung and pummels him mercilessly until Rainey rushes over to stop him. But Pak Lung manages to stand back up and turn the tables, beating down Wang Wei, who's desperately trying to cover his daughter. In the nick of time, the boy bravely charges in and shoves Pak Lung over, saving Wang Wei's life. Wang Wei finally passes out from pure exhaustion and severe injuries. Pak Lung stumbles back to his feet, but Rainey and the boy stand tall, staring him down bravely. However, because of all the massive head trauma he took, Pak Lung suddenly loses his mind. Delirious, muttering about wanting to go home to see his wife and kids, he stumbles a few steps, collapses, and drops dead on the spot. Rainey bursts into hysterical tears, throwing herself over her unconscious dad.
A month after that horrific, bloody night, the vibe shifts to a peaceful, beautiful beach. Wang Wei looks back on his time with Navin. They completely took down the human trafficking syndicate and made the city a safer place for poor kids. The movie wraps up with Wang Wei, Rainey, and Yudong, the female cop who's now their close friend, scattering Navin's ashes into the calm ocean waves, a final tribute to Navin and his wife's ultimate sacrifice. So, what do you guys think about the conclusion of Wang Wei and Navin's journey? Let me know your thoughts and impressions in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to hit like, share this video with your friends, and definitely subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next exciting movie breakdown.